An incredibly wise teacher and friend of mine, Mrs. Ransom, once said, "Change is the only constant." I remember pondering this statement and thinking how monumental it was, and now cannot think of a better quote to fit our current situation. Everyone in their lifetime deals with change. Whether it is the changing of jobs, schools, or even seasons, it is inevitable. As students, we experience a lot of change. We switch teachers, grade levels, and schools, and every school year brings about new and different experiences from the last. None so much as this school year. No one could have guessed that we would not get to experience all the normal senior activities we had been looking forward to for 4 years. Not getting to fully experience such a monumental and defining chapter in our lives brings me back to that quote. Change is the only constant. The class of 2020 knows, almost better than anyone, that anything can and will change, with or without your consent. Even though we constantly experience change, it can be scary. Change is what draws us out of our comfort zones and propels us into our future. Change is what makes us adapt and try new things, meet a new person, or start a new life. So, as we change from high school to the next chapter of our lives, I am confident that my class will embrace new situations, ideas, and people. The class of 2020 is an extraordinary group of students that will take the obstacles put in our path and not only overcome them, but use them as lessons to better our future.
This is not the beginning of the end of the beginning, or anything of that nature. It is more a middle of the middle. This is not the end of our childhood. We are all kids at heart, and I hope we all stay that way. Neither is this the start of the rest of our lives. We have been preparing for this for the past 18 years of our lives, and we will be bringing all those lessons learned with us. This is the middle. We are transitioning from one season of life to another, with many memories to look back on, and so much life ahead to live. I don't believe this is a time for sadness, but rather one for joy. We have so many great memories from our times in these walls that we get to take with us. Friends, life lessons, and guidance, all for us to use in this journey of life. And whether we remain close or drift far apart, we will always be connected. We are graduates of Boonville High School.
This is not exactly how I pictured I would be giving this speech. I was trying to figure out how I was going to stand in front of all 200 plus of my classmates, along with their families, and somehow hide how nervous I was. But then I started to think to myself, why should I try to hide it? Any normal person would be nervous to speak in front of a stadium full of unfamiliar faces. This thought ultimately led me to figure out what I wanted to discuss as I addressed the class of 2020 for the last time. Whether you know it or not, everyone struggles at some point. In this day and age, people are so quick to judge when in reality they have no clue what someone else is going through. Life is full of comparison rather than the focus of helping and building others up as well as yourself. As I continue to grow older, I hope to become half the woman that my grandmother, Teresa Paul, has proven to be. This woman would do anything in her power to help anyone, whether it be those close to her or a complete stranger. I am extremely blessed to have had my mama as a role model throughout my 18 years of life. If everyone was as kind and selfless as her, we would live in a perfect world. So as we enter the next chapter of our lives, remember that everyone goes through a rough patch sometime in their life. Whether they choose to show it is up to them, but you choosing to spread positivity and kindness could literally be a life changer, whether you know it or not. If someone has yet to point this out to you, we entered the world during the wake of 9/11 and are graduating during a pandemic. Something always seems to pop up in what is supposed to be our most exciting times. Despite the struggles we may have faced, we can officially say we made it. Sure, this may not be the way we pictured our first 13 years of hard work coming to an end, but I feel that this will only make us stronger. We will always be known as the seniors in quarantine. The seniors who finished school online, wore masks to go outside, and wiped every store in Boonville, Indiana, clean of any roll of toilet paper in sight. I wish you all the best of luck in the years to come, and no matter where life takes you, remember your worth and always be pioneer strong.
If you want to win a football game, the first thing you have to do is lace up your cleats, put on your pads, and strap up your helmet. Before you even take the field, you have to equip yourself with the gear that is necessary for the game. Without the necessary equipment, there is no chance of success. You won't even be able to get started. The same is true in life. And ladies and gentlemen, sitting here today as high school graduates, we have just laced up our cleats. We have taken the first step in preparing ourselves to win in life. But as we move on in life, wherever our future takes us, let it be the military, college, or the workforce, there are skills that we will have to learn before we can be successful. We have to equip ourselves with the right gear to get the job done before we ever get started. If you want to win in life, you have to put on the right equipment before you even take the field. If you want to win in football, teamwork is essential. At a time on the field, there are 11 players working together as a cohesive unit. Everyone has a role to play, and no position is unimportant or can be forgotten. If one player fails, then so does the team. In life, the same is true. If you want to succeed, you have to learn to be a team player, remembering that everyone around you plays an important role in shaping you and the world around you. In life, you will always be surrounded by other people with whom you will have to work together, as well as those who are on the sidelines cheering you on. If you want to be successful, it takes everyone to succeed. If you want to win in life, you have to be able to be a team player. In football, there is always someone bigger, stronger, and faster than you. At times, you'll find yourselves outmatched, and at times you'll find yourself lying on your back, beaten. But if you want to win a football game, it's not about what happened to get you on the ground, to knock you off your feet. It's what you do after the fact. It's whether or not you choose to get off the ground, get off your back, and get back up and into the game. It's about grit and determination. In life, everyone will have shortcomings. There will be disappointments, whether it be not getting a job in the future or the coronavirus changing everyone's plans. But it is not these things in life that knock you off your feet that matter. It is your ability to come back from them, to get out of the dirt, off your back, and back onto your feet that will prove how successful you are going to be. If you want to win in life, you have to be able to get back up on your feet when you get knocked down. In football, there are many aspects of the game that come into account as to who will win and who will lose. But the core things remain the same. If you're willing to put on the right equipment, be a team player, and have the grit to bare your teeth in the toughest times and never give up, then you will be successful. And I know right now that everyone watching this in the Boonville High School class of 2020 has the ability to make this happen.
Perseverance. Persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. We as the class of 2020 have become quite familiar with this term during these past few months. With the snap of a finger, we lost so much. Going to school, sports, prom, awards night, senior breakfast, walking the halls of our elementary schools, a normal graduation, all gone. We had our last day of high school and we didn't even know it. These past few months have been hard. We felt as if we've no longer had anything to work towards. We struggled, we cried, we felt hopeless. But more importantly, we persevered. We continued to complete our assignments, take tests, and prepare ourselves for the next phases of our lives. It wasn't easy, but we forged ahead and we did it. I would like to leave you with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Congratulations, class of 2020.
The memories that we treasure are special because of what they give to us. One of those being a reason to be. From when we were kids to where we are now, those moments are what keep us moving forward, giving us a purpose that cannot be matched. Outside of these moments, we have goals for ourselves and dreams that hang high overhead, waiting for us to put everything down and get to work. But we cannot truly move forward until these goals, these dreams, and everything in between become the memories that we treasure. Seeking to accomplish great things is a journey that we have all seen before, but the ultimate reason for the sudden stop in this journey is because of the failed connection between the strong desire to reach that goal and the stronger desire to love reaching that goal. We are all meant to do great things with our lives, but nothing great is good enough if you forget to live. Putting things on a smaller scale, when I think back to high school, that one really hard test that I passed, does not even cross my mind. But the experiences I had with friends and the life-applicable lessons that teachers shared immediately defined what high school was for me. Great memories will always give us more than any great accomplishment by itself could. And as Steve Jobs said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. With that, fulfill your purpose. Make the most of your life through your accomplishments, but never forget to live through every moment.
When we imagined our senior year and graduation, we saw a stadium filled with prideful families and friends, slowly being able to bid our school, friends, and teachers farewell. Not a final school year cut short by a pandemic, with parties canceled and a graduation that, while being the best we can do in this trying time, still feels distant. We are still here today, though, to celebrate each one of our achievements. While this pandemic did take away our senior seasons and activities, it can't take away our accomplishments, friendships, and memories from the past 13 years. We have all earned this diploma, and it cannot be taken away from us. While this pandemic took a lot away from us, it has shown us that as we move on to the next stage of our lives, we are resilient. We learned how to connect with our family to make sure we get through this tough time. We learned that the little things matter when it comes to protecting our loved ones. And we finally learned why the guy from the math problem needed to buy 30 bottles of soap and 20 cases of toilet paper. Now is the time where we all go on our separate ways. We must all become adults and start to overcome obstacles on our own. We will face adversity along the way, but as Zig Ziglar once said, sometimes adversity is what you need to face in order to become successful. I believe that each one of us can strive to become something great. So just remember, as we go on our separate journeys, we have already overcome so much, and we can do anything we set our minds to. Thank you.
My fellow graduates, over the last 4 years at Boonville High School, we have learned so much. Ms. Meyer taught us we must have the conch shell from the Lord of the Flies to speak. Ms. Laird taught us a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and Mr. White taught us the mystery of time travel. All of this knowledge, without question, will be valuable as we go forward in life. However, the most important lesson we have learned during these 4 years is to cherish each moment. As a class, we have experienced many heartaches and victories. Together, we saw the band go to state, the football team win the Big 8 conference, and we all helped bring in cans for the Sunrise School Spirit Challenge. Our class has accomplished many great things together. But as our high school experience came to an end, we had some of the most valuable moments taken from us. We have missed out on so much already, but let us remember the unique memories we have made. Have any of the other senior classes received their own parade or yard sign? Instead of focusing on the negatives, let us enjoy the new opportunities we have been given. As we have come to realize, due to the pandemic, not everything is guaranteed. Treasure these moments. As a final thought, I'd like to leave you with this quote by Jimmy Valvano. He said, "Life changes when you least expect it to. The future is uncertain. So, seize this day, seize this moment, and make the most of it." Thank you.
Class of 2020, I understand that this school year did not go according to the perfect plan we had created in our minds. I understand that the end of this year is full of grief and losses when it should be full of happiness and precious memories that you only get your senior year. For me personally, this school year has been the hardest year of my life. Not only because of COVID-19 derailing these past few months, but also because I lost 2 family members that I wish could see me on this stage right now. I realize that this school year has knocked us all to the ground, and it gives us the perfect excuse to just stay there and do nothing. In fact, that is what everyone expects us to do. But now isn't time to stay down. Right now, we need to stand back up and keep going. Right now, we must withstand everything trying to keep us down. Right now, resilience is the key to not just surviving, but thriving during this season of hardships. My favorite motivational speaker, Rachel Hollis, said that resilience is a little voice that says, one more step, keep going, stand back up. It will get better. You will outlast this thing. You will still be here. You just have to stand back up and go again. We all need to listen to the little voices in our head, because if we are able to stand back up and continue to work towards our dreams for the future during this difficult time, then we can all be unstoppable. The little voice of resilience I always hear in my head is my grandma. I know that, even with all the hardships I have faced and all the excuses I have to just give up, she would want me to keep moving forward. A phrase my grandma would always say was, "It is what it is." For the entirety of her 4-year battle with cancer, she'd always say, "It is what it is, stand back up, and continue to move forward even though she had the perfect excuse not to." And that is the energy I channeled after she passed away, and this is the type of energy we all need to channel in these difficult moments. This is not the season to stop. This is the season to be resilient, to stand back up, and go.
In my experience, there is often valuable information to be found when listening to your elders. I've learned a great deal from my grandpa, and the most applicable nugget of insight to our current situation is this: life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. With toilet paper in limited supply right now and our time together coming to an end, it seems to me that this is the perfect analogy for our final year of high school. Honestly, we have had quite a crappy end to our year. We worked our butts off for so long to reach the end of the line, only to have the doors shut in our face. I wish more than anything that we could have these last 10 weeks of school back, but that is not possible. We are facing an unfortunate situation, but we have our entire futures to look forward to once this all passes. Our high school roll might be up, but we have a lot more stored up for the future. We can only look forward to what is in store for us, and remember, no matter what, we are the quarantine class. We made the most of what life dealt us. We are going to keep excelling at whatever we put our minds to. We are going to go out into the world knowing we can handle whatever is thrown at us. There are no limits for us going forward. I only wish I could say the same about the supply of toilet paper.
The Boonville High School graduation is proudly sponsored by Jerry Eichner Construction. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020 on a job well done. The Boonville High School graduation is proudly sponsored by Persnicketties. Congratulations to the Boonville High School graduating class of 2020. Best wishes.